All right, what's good? General cars, boys, girls. Market recap for today. Today is September 17, 2025. I did not take a trade today, and I'll go over why in a second. I'll also go over a trade I missed. So coming into this morning, I was leaning more bullish until proven wrong. We are currently respecting a daily fair value gap, a 4-hour fair value gap, and also a 1-hour bullish fair value gap. Okay. This is what the 15-minute chart looked like. We had generated liquidity right here, relatively equal lows. And then here is what the 4-hour looked like right here is the 4-hour fair value gap. There was an unfilled 1-hour beneath us. And then we also had a couple unfilled gaps up here as well that we could possibly target, okay? So jumping into this morning, off rip, what did we do? Well, we manipulated higher, right? And when we did so, what did ES do? ES came, pause. My God, doesn't want to fucking go. ES came and took out London highs and also created equal highs with Asia, okay? So from there, where is NASDAQ? NASDAQ is nowhere near London, so what does that mean? We have a SMT with London highs. And then, like I said, I was leaning bullish, so what I wanted to see at market open is I wanted to see price come down, take out this low resistance liquidity, and then we can possibly look for longs from there, or maybe we can even come down, take out London lows, and look for longs from there as well, okay? However, what did we have? What did I just say? We had a London SMT, right? And then what do we also have? We had a 15-minute unfilled bearish fair value gap tap. So this was a perfect PDI targeting either London lows or these relatively equal lows right here. This is a perfect PDI. Where is our inversion? Our inversion is with this 3-minute fair value gap right here. Literally textbook, but like I said, I was bullish on the day. So what I wanted to see at market open was just price come down, take out this low resistance liquidity, and then we can then look for longs from there. So I seen this, and I did not enter, even though I really wanted to, but I was sticking to my bias for the time being, right? As you guys can see, if we are to go ahead and enter off this, well, I don't even got to bring it up. You guys can just see for yourself. This shit would have smacked take profit, right? And then if you were holding to London lows, you would have got edged. But then there was also this another opportunity that popped up. There was this 5-minute fair value gap, right? Okay, so let me get this off the screen. This no longer matters. There was this 5-minute. And then there was this 5-minute, okay? So we then created relatively equal lows with London lows, which is a great draw on liquidity. What do we end up doing? We end up running through this 5-minute, okay? Coming up, tapping, we actually retapped the inversion, which is crazy. We tapped this 5-minute that was unfilled, right? The more premium one. Come up, filled it, and then what do we get from there? Well, as you guys can see, there's also another 5-minute bullish gap. So if we want to take shorts, we need to invert this bullish gap before we do so, okay? Very next candle, we then do so, and I could have easily just entered right here. Stops at the top of the wick, down to London lows, or even stops at the body for a 0.92, right? I did not like the RR on this trade, so what I did was I set a limit order at the 5-minute inversion. Even though it's a 0.92, it was very close to a 1-to-1, but I still wanted a 1-to-1. So I set a limit order at the inversion, which was right here where this black box is, and as you guys can see, price just immediately ripped to London lows. So I was like, okay, that's fine. We missed out on that. That was probably the most obvious short of the day. This PDI one wasn't that obvious, but it was still there, right? 15-minute for value gap tap. London SMT, 3-minute inversion. That was beautiful. And then this one was just a continuation down to London lows. But at this point in time, I'm like, okay, we just came and took out London, right? We're also rejecting this giant fair value gap, okay, which was a 1-hour, also a 4-hour, and a daily. So I was like, okay, I'm going to look for longs from here. I want to see how price reacts off of London. At this point in time, where is ES? ES is still trickling down, just generating a whole bunch of liquidity, right? So what time is it here? It's 10:04. We then got a 10 a.m. open low, okay, which was perfect. Here's 10 a.m. Right? That's 10 a.m. open. What do? We open low, coming down and taking out London lows, creating a London SMT. We ended up getting a 1-minute inversion, but that wasn't enough for me because I believe there was a higher time frame one somewhere in here. Yeah, there was this 3-minute I believe that was it. I don't think there was a 4 minute. Oh, there was a 4 minute. Yeah, so if I was going to take longs, I wanted to see this 4 minute get inverted, and then my stops would have went somewhere in this general area, right? Obviously, our entry point would be somewhere up here. And as you guys can see, we ended up just chopping around. There was nothing really cooking. If you guys would have took this 1 minute right here, it's not a bad trade idea, right? London SMT, 4 hour, 1 hour daily gap, 1 minute inversion targeting the upside. However, I didn't like it because I was just waiting on the 4 minute. I'm starting to be a lot more patient lately. I've been taking my trades way too quick and I've been getting stopped out on them. So I was then waiting for this 4 hour to get hit, or not hit, but inverse to target either this buy side right here, market open highs, and then we also had London highs and whatever the hell, New York PM highs from the previous session, okay? And then we ended up just generating. We had news at 2 o'clock and 2:30, okay? So that was all really for the morning. Let's jump on over to the PM. That's literally going on right now. All right, so as you guys see, we were just generating liquidity on the way up here. This is an unfilled 1 hour fair value gap. We created essentially relatively equal lows with it. On the way up, again, like I said, I was waiting for news to come out at 2 o'clock. News came out. We ended up creating data highs right here. Okay. And we had our data lows. So we actually ended up coming out and taking out our data lows with the next candle. As you guys can see, ES did not take out data lows. But there was no entry, right? There was no 30-second. There was no inversion to enter off of to target data highs. Data highs ended up coming and getting swept out. And then what else ended up happening? When data highs got swept out, the S&P 500 ended up creating an SMT with these 950 highs over here, okay? So if we go to 915, essentially just the market open highs. And then as you guys see, NASDAQ is just nowhere near that shit. So now we have a bearish SMT. So that was fine by me. I was like, okay, cool. We have a bearish SMT. We just took out data highs. What can we see from here? I wanted to see an inversion targeting what? Well, we had a unfilled 5 minute fair value gap resting right here, okay? So as you guys can see, it ended up getting taken out. But why didn't I take the trade, you may ask? Well, here we go. So I seen this 1 minute and I was like, oh, this is a beautiful, beautiful 1 minute. If we can get this inversion, I will go ahead and take this. And then I will put my stops above these highs right here. And obviously my take profit at the unfilled 5 minute. And I believe there was also an unfilled 15 minute right below it. Yes, there was. There was one right here along with one right here. Okay, so we had clear draws on liquidity. It was just a matter if we can get an entry or not. What does price end up doing? Price ends up coming down and inversing this 1 minute gap. Now, I wanted to take this because look at the speed it inversed, right? We opened and we instantly just ran right through this gap. It meant absolutely nothing. But what else was there? There was just 3 minutes. So I was like, okay, I can do one of two things. I can either wait for the 3 minute close or I can break my rules and just enter off this 1 minute like a retap on that inversion and just hope that we go down to this unfilled 5 minute. And I'm not going to lie. Like I said, I haven't had the best trading month so far. We're halfway through the month and it's not been the prettiest. It's been pretty much a break-even month. So I was like, let me just follow my rules. If we end up getting the 3 minute closure and none of these draws have been taken out yet, then cool, we can go ahead and enter. And if not, then I'll just watch price run. It is what it is, right? There's always tomorrow. So we ended up getting a retap perfectly into this 1 minute inversion. So if you guys set a limit order at the inversion, that's what it would look like. Stops at the highs right here, and then your take profit either down to this 5 minute for a 1.26 RR or this 15 minute for a 172. Okay, so we ended up getting tapped in perfectly. Well, I didn't end up getting tapped in, but the 5 minute ended up getting taken out. So I was like, okay, well, there goes the 3 minute draw. So now I'm like, okay, what else is there, right? What else is there for me to enter off of if I want to go short? And I was like, we took out all these, right? We inversed this, all these 15-minute gaps. So I was like, okay, we truly are bearish. We have this bearish SMT. We inversed all these gaps. We just tapped into this 1 hour. But I was like, the 1 hour doesn't really mean anything because we still have unfilled gaps beneath us. Maybe if we come up, create a fair value gap, I can look for a continuation down. Well, what ended up happening? Next candle ends up taking out both. And I was like, okay, we still have targets lower, even though we just swept out these 4 hour lows and we just took out these this 1 hour, I guess, relative or equal lows and this unfilled 1 hour gap. But I was like, I don't really like the draw on liquidity now. Let me just see how price reacts, right? So what is price doing? We end up coming up, filling this 5-minute gap. We actually ended up inversing it. Okay, so I would have took shorts down to these internal lows. Give me 1 second. I would have took shorts down to these internal lows if we didn't inverse this 5-minute gap back to the upside. So that's what really fucked with me. I was like, it's not the most A+ setup. I'm just going to get off the charts for today, right? It's already 2:25. I don't even like trading PM in the first place. The market is mad volatile right now, as you guys can see. Like, this is the previous candles. Each one of these candles is decently sized, 9-10 points, which is average for a 1-minute candle. And as you guys can see, these 1-minute candles are fucking 40 points. Okay, so that's a lot of risk being put on the table to not essentially look for an A+ setup. Again, like I said, I would have took this continuation down. Let's see if there was a entry. As soon as that 5-minute got inversed, I just closed my laptop. There was this 1-minute, 2-minute. Okay, so if you guys did want to enter off this, there would have been this 2-minute right here. Again, this 5-minute means absolutely nothing because it got inverted. So you would essentially just would have been entering off of equilibrium of the range, and then a 2-minute inversion targeting these lows down here. But look at the stop loss, right? Your stop loss is 51 points if I risk 1 mini. So let's do that math real quick. 51 times 20, I'd be risking $1,020 if I just went in for one contract. And honestly, that's way too much for me. I like to risk anywhere from like $400 to $700. So I just watched it play out, and of course it went all the way down to my take profit, right? So I essentially forward tested 4 trades today, and they all worked out. So I guess I can take that away as a positive. It is what it is, though. I stuck to my rules, and that's all I can really ask for, right? So that was all for the PM session. With that being said, I will catch y'all boys tomorrow.